What is going on? This is Bleeding Birdie Podcast. It is Tuesday, July 6th. This is episode number 26. And I am here with my co-pilots, as always, Keith Gray and John Taman. How's it going, boys?
Good.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
So, living the dream.
Did y'all have a good July 4th? What'd you guys do? John, what'd you do?
I changed out all the switches and plugs in my house. No, it wasn't a great day. I hate doing that kind of shit. And I think I've frozen. I'll be right back.
You're not frozen on our end.
Okay, well, you guys froze.
You froze.
I froze.
You froze. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna reset. I'll be right back.
Did you wind
reset
up,
your?
Did you wind up cutting your grass?
I did. Yep. Mowed the yard. And then after that, we went to a buddy's house that has a pool, and just kind of hung out with a bunch of people. Half the people I didn't even know. My wife got drunk, had to bring her drunk ass home. But she doesn't do it often, so she had a good time, and that was it, man. Kids had a good time, and just had a good time.
Nice. Yeah,
I'm kind of lucky in that regard. My wife can't drink. She's got an allergy.
Oh,
yeah. She'll have a medical problem if she drinks. So none of that. Which means always I have a designated driver. No matter what the fuck I do, wherever the hell I go, I got somebody that will drive me.
That's a win in my book.
That's right. I'm not even a big drinker, anyways. Like
I saw that you drink these freaking what was that? What was that little juice box you had the other day?
the Mike's Hard Grape.
So yeah. First of all, it was black cherry. Okay.
Oh, hey, you know what? If you really want to live hard, mix it with a White Claw, and then you're an outlaw, baby.
I can't stand you. Whatever.
Yeah. See Keith rolling up in the bar. Give me a White Claw, raspberry, black cherry, whatever the fuck that thing. Tell you what, just put it in a glass and whisper alcohol at it, and I'll drink it.
My college guys used to make fun of me, man. We'd go to a bar and I'd order a Smirnoff Ice, and I'd have them
fucking Zima. Keith drank Zimas.
Yes, he did.
Smirnoff Ice, and I'd have them add grenadine to it.
Oh god.
Jesus Christ. And then he'd wait for some nice guy to come in the bar and take him home. That's what he'd do.
Oh shit.
Oh my God.
Everybody don't like beer, man. That shit, it tastes like piss.
I'll have a white wine spritzer, please.
Please. Thank you very much.
Hey, if you don't like beer, that's fine with me. I'm just
whatever floats your boat, man. Whatever.
But you can't float a boat in that shit. There's no fucking liquid in it. It's just air.
I'll just wait till camp. I'm getting a keg of Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Oh, good. There you go.
You could probably sell it for a quarter a cup. Kids won't know the difference.
Oh boy, I hate all of you.
All right. Anyways, we had a emergency pod / what the fuck happened podcast on Saturday. If listeners have not got a chance to hear that yet, go back and listen. It was probably one of our best pods to date. It was hot topics about Dan Snyder, about the issues going on surrounding the Wilkinson report or lack thereof. You just need to go listen to it. It definitely pushed some buttons, I would say, or to say the least. And now that there's been a couple of days, I kind of want to recap that a little bit. There's been some other news since the last time that we spoke. Keith, have you thought about some of the points that you made? Is there anything that you would change, or are you pretty much sticking to what you said on Saturday?
I'm sticking to what I say. Like a lot of people think that this is the part that's so frustrating to me, because people think that I'm an ambassador, because people think that I've sat with Jason Wright and that I'm a hog farmer, that I wasn't so hard on Dan Snyder. and that I'm not saying how I truly feel about the topic because Jason Wright's listening. It's not the case. It's not the case. Like, truthfully, at the end of the day, there was two sides to every story.
Sure.
Okay. And only one side has truthfully come in or has come out and said something. And the other person isn't saying anything. And so people are automatically like, oh, guilty. And I'm kind of just taking the approach of whatever. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I got so much that I want to say on this and like really go through a rant.
If you only had a podcast or something.
But it's like I'm repeating myself over and over and over again. Look, at the end of the day, Dan Snyder is a bad owner. And I've said that. He is a bad owner. He always has been. Even if he wasn't involved in anything that, he has been accused of or his front office people have been accused of, right? You're still a bad owner for not knowing that it was going on in your organization.
True.
But let me ask you this, Keith. Throughout your years of saying Dan Snyder's a bad owner, wouldn't you agree if I said 99%, probably 99.8% of that has all stemmed from his handling of the football team itself and not what the fuck goes on in the front office?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So, I mean, listen, again, there's just two sides to every story. And we're always so quick to, I'm not sticking up for Dan Snyder. You know what I'm just saying? But it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. And I knew when we got into these topics, it was going to come off like we were, what's the word I'm looking for? Not sensitive to
handsome.
The women's, point of view in this.
And that's totally not the case, but
no, it's not.
It's not. It's really not, because I sat here and said that a woman would literally run this organization much better. And I hope that Tanya Snyder does. Look, I wasn't there. Why am I getting persecuted in this? Like, I didn't fondle anybody. I wasn't texting anybody my ding dong pics, so it's like, I don't know, man. There's just two sides to a story, man. And like I said, we've only heard one side, and the other people, they pretty much just got fired and whisked away and probably signed an agreement like, hey, don't say shit.
I haven't heard word one out of any of them.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not pinpointing anything on those women that came out. I'm not saying that it didn't happen. I'm not saying that they deserved what they got. I'm not saying any of it, man. I'm just a dude that loves football and just kind of want to stay away from that issue and topic. Like, I don't know. I don't know, man. I've kind of gotten to the point where I don't really care what goes on behind closed doors. I only care about the damn football team. And I feel like that we're always getting lost because every year it's always such a circus show, and this was kind of the first year where it wasn't a circus show on the field, but it was a circus show, for these reports and allegations. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I feel you on that, and to touch on that a little bit. Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. It just seems like it's taken away from the good that the organization has done within the past year, because they have done a lot of good. Whether that's the NFL making Daniel Snyder make these moves or not, I have a feeling that that's the case, but we can't. Nothing can be proved. But we need to. How do you separate? Your fandom. You have to be able to balance that. Are you going you want to block out all the bad and just focus on the team, or does that have something to do with it? Are your feelings, are fans' feelings changed because of the stuff that has gone on 10, 15 years ago? Now, mind you, this stuff happened years and years ago. This doesn't have anything to do with the team now. This doesn't have anything to do with Jason Wright, with Julie Donaldson, with Ron Rivera and company. It doesn't. So I think you can dislike the owner without having your feelings, change to the rest of the team. John, what do you think, man?
For one, I will rethink a little bit of what I said, goofing around last week. And as always, I will always defer to the idea that the rich person is doing the wrong thing, because 99% of the time they are. But I think in this situation, Snyder is just the guy where the buck stops. So his fine, he's got to pay the price for the misdeeds of his employees. And that's fair. I don't have a problem with that. But I think what I just said to you, Keith, is true. I can't remember the last time I ever gave a living rat's ass. I couldn't name you the roster of who works in the goddamn copy pool. I don't know who works in the finance department. Neither does anybody else. And we don't separate. You were saying, how do you do it? All right. Well, I said on Saturday, and I told you guys before, I'm a Penn State football fan ever since I was a little kid. And when all of that happened, man, what do I do with that? Okay, so I could boycott, but that won't change anything. Doesn't bring any of it back. It doesn't remove any of what happened. I could say I'm not going to be a fan anymore because I've got some kind of moral standing that says I can't watch guys that didn't have anything to do with this go play football. And I decided, fuck that, because I support the players. And the same thing is true here. Yeah. I watch the football game on Sunday. All right. I follow what goes on inside the locker room and what goes on inside, the team itself, the football team, not the office. Offices all around the goddamn country have problems that are going on. And I mean, I hope that the people who are wrong get taken care of, but really it's not something I'm going to go hog wild over. I think these people that thought that Dan Snyder was going to be forced to sell the team are naive as shit and don't really realize how the fucking world works. And I think that a lot of these folks that want to sit there and pretend that you're a hypocrite because now you're not bashing Snyder, because now you're coming. Well, for one, the world isn't black and white. It doesn't all have to be one or the other. You can see shades of gray within everything. And I don't support Dan Snyder as the owner of the team, because he's taken this team and he's turned it into a joke, not in the office, but on the field, because that's all I'm watching. And that's why I don't like Dan Snyder. As far as the rest of it goes, like I said, I was goofing around on Saturday. I can't recall the last time I ever read of him being involved in anything untoward that's not business related. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't screw around. You don't see him out goofing around on the town and acting the fool like some other owners from goddamn Texas might end up doing all the goddamn time. So I can say I think he should get his day in court, period. I don't know the answers. I don't know the facts. So give him his day in court. But at the same time, I could say, fuck this guy. I hope he loses the team because he's really fucked it up for 20 years.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, it makes perfect sense. Go ahead, Keith.
And I just wanted to clarify, when I say that there's two sides to every story, doesn't necessarily mean that I believe that whatever story Dan has, that I would believe it. I just wish that both sides of the story would come out. But at the end of the day, my overall opinion about the matter is I do not believe Dan Snyder is a good owner. A leader always knows what's going on within their business. And
that's true.
And if he closed his eyes through 20 years through that entire process, that is not a very good owner. And there's been a lot of other things that he has done, that would, come across as not a very good owner. And, I will pretty much, leave it at that. So my stance doesn't change. I always want to see the good in people, right? That's what I said the other. I mean, morally, I feel like that Dan Snyder wouldn't have done any of that. And I truthfully don't believe that he was a part of any of that. But I also believe that his head was in the sand and he had no idea what was going on.
Buck stops on his desk.
Yep. People were running rampant in there and doing whatever they please. Dan Snyder didn't tell that one dude to text that girl and constantly harass her. You know what I mean? It's just people in high level positions think that they have this safe space, and they soon found out that they didn't when it all started coming out. And, again, when this is all said and done, and if people continue to not sweep this under the rug, I hope that those women get what they deserve on the positive standpoint. This was just a subject where, for me, I just wasn't going to sit here and trash the owner. But if you want me to say, well, do you think he's a good owner? No, he's not. And I'll stand by that. He's not, and he hasn't been, but this is the first year where I do believe that he is trying to do everything right. Yeah. Even starting last year when they made all these hires. Okay.
Yeah, started last year.
He started last year. And so that doesn't mean that I'm going to open arms and be like, oh my God, Dan Snyder, I love you. You know,
we've heard this before. He's going to step back. He's not going to touch his coach. And then 2 years later, he's like, hey, play the guy I tell you to play.
You just hope that he does. You hope that he does.
So we're hoping again.
And, you know, that's all we have, the hope. So until then, I'm not going to waste my time really necessarily hoping. I'm just going to focus on what's going on at the football field. Simple as that.
Yeah. And I honestly believe now that
I'm a fan of the team, not the owner.
Exactly.
Yeah. The NFL's not going to let Dan meddle anymore, or should I say the other owners. It's been such a clusterfuck for the past years. I do believe he doesn't have a choice in the matter. I believe, you know, he put out that statement or had his lawyers put out that statement that, I could go back anytime I want. He's just trying to wear the britches in that. I firmly, and that's Dan Snyder's way of trying to save it, you know, but I think the NFL has more control over this team right now than Dan Snyder does, to be honest with you. That's my feeling.
They hold the note on his loan. And I'll tell you this too, when he bought this team, it was ranked 3rd in the world in terms of professional sports franchises. And this year it's ranked 19th, which really is only, you know, 10 or 11 spaces, because I come from Maryland. I can't do no math, but in terms of dollars, that is a massive slide. And all of these owners went, dude, this was a prime product, and look at what you've done.
Yeah.
So
the owner of the team lost the name that he loves so much.
He gave it up willingly.
Yep.
Yeah. And
he gave it up.
If you think that I like this owner for just that alone, you're crazy. I mean, I didn't fight for a whole year about how I thought it was ridiculous. Now, can I change my stance and my point of view a little bit on the name? Sure. And I kind of have. And the reason is, I mean, I'm not happy about it, you know, but
nobody likes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
I was going to say, but at the end of the day, I have no control over it.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
Who am I fooling? Right? If I said that I've been liking this team since I was 8-9 years old, I can sit here all day and lie to everyone and be like, oh, whoa, we're the Red Wolves. Oh, no fan here. Bullshit.
Why?
I've invested my whole entire life in it.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't have to like it. But if we start winning, maybe I will be in the stands howling. You know what I mean?
You will.
And truthfully, again, whatever, the team name gets picked, there's going to be people that love it. There's going to be people that hate it. But
as long as we start winning,
if we start winning, all goes well.
Yeah.
I think the point you made on Saturday about really it's just a freaking stupid little name. It's not going to end the world, and the wins and losses are important. And you're right, we have no control of it. Look, I don't like Soylent Green. You don't like Soylent Green, but it's the only thing on the shelf, so that doesn't matter if my neighbors are in it. I'm going to eat it.
Yeah. Yep. And I mean, Jessy brought up a good point. A lot of us, like I can't say that my dad and I are Redskins fans. That's no longer the team name anymore. And
Washington fans.
Right. So now that my dad isn't here anymore, like it's kind of like, I'm in limbo in the situation. But there's a lot of people that's like that, so.
But you got a son. You've got a son now.
Yeah. I mean, I've got
So you
two.
pass it on your way.
One of them likes the loser Eagles though, but, but listen, again, going back to, I kind of jumped off with the whole team name thing, but like, if people think that I'm in love with Dan, they're crazy. But how many times am I going to sit here and bash the guy? He's been bashed over and over and over again. So at this point, the only thing that I can do is just reiterate that, no, I don't think he's a good owner. And listen, if no one from the team wants to mess with me because they've heard me say this on the podcast, if the hog farmers, are like, oh, you can't be saying this kind of like, listen, these are opinions.
They're football criticisms about his handling of the football team, not about who he is as a person.
And so again, this is where, yes, I'm still learning how to balance, be able to get my point across, still stay true to myself, but without having to be such a dick about it. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that that's what people are having issues with is because, well, the people that want to have issues, I'm not making this like this is an actual ordeal by any means, but it's been said to me by a few people, and it's just like, know. Like, how many times do I have to repeat the same thing over and over again?
Until they shut up, when that's never going to happen. And frankly, you guys brought me in to be the dick so that you could relax.
Sure. So, it is. And again, I didn't want to make it about me, the situation, but, it's like, I mean, just what good is it going to do? But like I said, if the team hears me say that I don't think Dan Snyder is a good owner, and they're like, hey, Keith, hey, you're an ambassador, you can't say things like that, then maybe the ambassador thing isn't for me. Right.
Look, I'd like to point out Dan Snyder owned the radio stations in this town that criticized him as harshly as you could ever imagine 100%. And never fired any of them for it. Look, you got to give the dude a little bit of credit for that kind of thing. He's got a thick skin in those regards. He doesn't pay attention to it. So, and that's good. You can say he's a bad owner because, like I said, you're criticizing his actions on the team on the field. Not his personal life.
My man is out on a yacht enjoying his billionaire life. Right?
I just wish I could see it. They built these railings too high.
What some middle class American has to say about him. He just doesn't. So, like I said, so moving forward, I'm going to give opinions. If Jesse asked me a question about what did you think about such and such and how well they played, if they played like shit, I'm going to say it.
Yeah. Look, you met Ron Rivera over a Zoom meeting, and if he makes a bad call coming up in a game and it costs us a game because of some boneheaded, what the hell did you're not going to sit there and go, oh, he's such a nice guy. I'd really hate to. You're going to say, what the hell is he thinking? Right. And then that's just purely football criticism. There's nothing wrong with that.
And a lot of these guys kind of they love the idea when fans hold them accountable.
Yeah. I want to make one more last point about this, and this might raise some feathers too. I think a lot of the outrage was because there was no report for us to look at.
Something happened though.
And
something happened.
The thing about it is it's none of our business. It's a private fucking organization. They don't have to tell us shit. They don't. They really don't. So my best advice, if you're thinking about your fandom, you got to separate the shit. You got to root for the players, root for
that's
Ron.
Who you're there for.
And that's exactly, we all know Dan Snyder's been a bad owner, and he's been a bad owner since the day he signed the papers to buy the football team. He's a bad boss. He's an asshole.
Short. He's fucking little.
He's
got a squeaky voice.
Well,
listen, too. Another thing I wanted to bring up is JP Finley and B Mitch, for example. They criticize
all the time.
They criticize all the time, right?
Yeah.
B Mitch goes off.
Oh yeah.
And he would then collect a paycheck with Dan's name at the bottom.
Correct. And they're also on the field interviewing the same people that they trash.
Exactly.
But that's their job, and it's okay to do that. It's okay to do that.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
it's a football criticism. If they started talking about a guy's personal life, and when they went over to interview him and they punched him in the mouth,
right,
or that would be different.
Right.
Yeah.
Nothing that I'm doing is any different than those guys. So it's like, but yet those guys still get, regarded in, high regard and so on and so on. So it is what it is. Like I said, I'm going to be me. I'm going to be truthful to myself, and that's all I have to do. So cool.
Mm-hmm. So some news that came out kind of throughout this whole saga. You remember the I think it was a paper or no, the online paper or whatever that put out that Daniel Snyder was involved with Jeffrey Epstein. He was, doing coke off hookers' tits and all this crap.
He can't reach hookers' tits. Come on, this is such a fallacy.
Who was this?
Well, that India, the India news-based company, or the news company out of India, they wrote the article that tied Dan Snyder to sex trafficking and well, that all came, what they went to court over that, and come to find out that old Dwight Schar, one of the minority owners, was kind of feeding them information to give,
smearing him.
Yeah, it's just a big old smear campaign.
What's the best way to reach the American public? I know. How about an Indian news website?
God. Hello. I wrestled him up 4 times.
Now the NFL came out that says Dwight Schrute is never allowed to own.
Any of y'all have cocaine?
Never allowed to own any part of an NFL team ever again.
Good.
Yeah.
That's the 32 owners going, fuck you, buddy. You're out of the club.
So Dan's winning, man. He's winning off the fucking field, like left and right this year. He got 100% control of his football team. Oh, he's always had the majority control of the team.
He didn't have control of the name.
They won the
Yes,
NFC
he still
last
owns it.
year. They made some out of the park hires with Julie Donaldson and Jason Wright and Ron Rivera. And now he kind of got a slap on the wrist for all the years of bad ownership. And now,
debatable.
He's probably doing that German dance, kicking his legs on his fucking yacht. Now that Dwight Schrute is fucking out of
Get my steps stool. I want to do some coke off this hooker's tits.
yeah.
Weren't they boys at one point?
They were very good friends.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. So Dan's like, okay, I'll step away. Shit, everything's going good so far. Fuck it.
I hear Jerry's got himself a brand new island.
Yeah.
Just take my ship and go over there for a while. Do
There you
whatever I
go.
want.
There you go.
Yeah, I think this is a situation clearly of Dan accepting the responsibility for what went on underneath him. And that's that. That's that. He's taking, okay, well, whatever happened, whether I had anything to do with it or not, I accept the fall because it's my job to accept the fall. So he did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm surprised? I mean, I'm not, because there's nothing that can be done. But let's say, the rumored the 2027 is when, a stadium should be complete, a new stadium in an area. And how cool would that be, though, like to have the new stadium and the new name all being like shot out at one time? Because I have to tell you, I think those uniforms are changing too. I think the colors are going to remain the same.
The uniforms will probably change.
The uniforms are going to change. And, through the years, man, I kind of had always took a dump on the uniforms because I'm like, man, all these other teams are, because, traditionalists usually like that. And
I always wanted some black into the uniform, or wear a black jersey one time or something to change it up once in a while,
Well, yeah, my thing was, again, true, and my thing was, it's like, God, man, like we gotta change something to kind of get up with today's day and age. I mean, all these other teams were getting these new uniforms, and we kind of just had these plain burgundy and white, unis, and
There's still the 80s.
yeah.
And
So, all right, what's your favorite uniform of all time? Any team?
I don't really know. I just like I just like when the teams
The
try to be
cream
different.
fickle Buccaneers.
No, I hate those.
Bucko Bruce. Hooray, hooray.
No, but through the years, like Detroit was changing their uniforms. They changed their logo a little bit.
And they're still
Kind of-
ugly as shit.
Well, look, Atlanta's changing. Tampa's changing.
I like Atlanta's. I do like Atlanta's uniforms. I like the Chargers,
Cardinals
too.
were changing like their uniforms. The Bengals, the Browns, and like the Chargers, the Rams, like they're all getting these new updated uniforms. And
The Rams uniforms
We
look
never
like
did.
they look silly as shit with those kind of the numbers that they put on there, looking like jelly bean candy and shit.
I don't mind it. I don't know. Like, I'm not asking for them to do all that. I'm just saying, like, back
We'll
then,
get some updated.
Sure we will.
Yeah, Bruce Allen never wanted to do that, and that's another
he likes
person
the
that-
traditional.
of course not. That's what he did, the mustard, and a lot of people crapped on the mustard. I actually didn't mind it because I was
Yeah,
like,
no, I didn't either.
because I'm like,
I liked
at least we were changing.
That's-
At least it was something different.
That's another topic that I wanted to kind of bring to the table while we're all talking about this is Bruce Allen and his culpability in this whole entire issue. Dan stated that he was away from the team for he averaged only been in office for 29 days out of the year. Does any of this fall on Bruce Allen's head?
I think it should. I mean, I don't know how many days he's been in the office, but he's the team president. And if I would suggest he probably is in the office a hell of a lot more since most of his duties are office bound.
Yeah, I mean, he ran football and business operations
Into the ground. I mean, right into the fucking dirt.
Yeah. What do you think, Keith?
Yeah, I mean, he's from the good old boy network, man. He brought all his good old boys over. I mean, that's the only reason why Jay Gruden was a coach. I mean, let's face it, he wasn't that successful in Cincinnati to become a head coach, but they were looking for someone young, right? A quarterback coach. And Jay Gruden was brought in with the pretense of, hey, maybe he can help out, Robert Griffin's, deficiencies. But apparently that wasn't in the plans at all.
He made the right decision.
But so
Listen, I'm not,
And
I'm
I'll
not,
always hand it to him for making that decision too.
I'm not going to get it. I won't get into that because that's just so way beyond like pointless at this point. But those were all the Gruden connections. They were the Tampa connections, and we were not going to get away from any of that. It's just, again, it was, hey, I'll scratch your back if you scratch my back. And that's how it was. And look, I know it's like that with a lot of other folks. Ron Rivera brought all his people in. But the difference is Ron Rivera is not a terrible coach.
Yeah.
And
any company out there on the planet, when they bring in new ownership, they change
you want to bring in people that you trust. Correct. But it was like
bringing your people.
But it was like the continuous bringing in players, players upon players. It just was old. And he did nothing to like better this organization. And even if Dan wasn't around, where was Bruce?
That's what my question is too. And this by no means am I giving Dan a pass for anything. Like
team president runs the ship.
He's the at the tip of the iceberg right there. But Vinny Serrato and after Vinny, Bruce Allen, they were in charge, were they not? When these things, the sexual harassment, the bad coaching pick, bad player picks. Why did they get a pass in all of this? Is
because they're not here right now. They're not here right now, and everybody has a recency bias. They remember who's right in front of them, and that's pretty much about it. I also, talking on Jay Gruden, I think that they kept him around too long. Simply for Dan Snyder needed to show other coaches out there in the league that he's not going to just throw everybody out after 2 years if he doesn't see a Super Bowl. So I think they kept him around and said, "See, we'll give you your chance as far as we can," that kind of thing. But yeah, you're right. I think they are getting a pass. Bruce Allen, I think, holds a lot of culpability in all of this, and I can't say that for a fact as to what he knew about what was going on in the office, but I would think that he probably knew a hell of a lot more than what Dan was doing.
I think he would. I mean, because he was there every day, day in and day out. I mean, he was the president. He was both business and football operations.
The Scott McLuhan, debacle. I mean,
So
right.
I mean, I don't.
What do you mean? I can't look up a skirt. What do you mean? I can't look up a skirt.
I just don't. I don't think they should get a pass. I think some outrage should definitely go towards them. And we all know the Fire Bruce Allen campaign. But I don't think that was for on-field, player acquisitions and stuff like that. It doesn't have anything to do with the business side of it and stuff that I don't think they should be able to slide on. Anyways,
I will say this
knew about it then.
I will say this though. What never really did get talked about, and I don't really have a lot of positive things to say about Bruce Allen, but game day, man. Game day, that guy was out there with the fans. He was trying to cozy up with the fans, but damage was already done.
Yeah.
But
let's see if I can go out and get some free food before the game.
he was a friendly guy. I was tailgating one time and he was out there and he was a friendly guy. And it's like, when you start to meet these guys and you're like, man, I feel bad for the things I said because he's a nice guy, but nice guys always finish last, man. And that's why
not only that, but it's easy to be nice to you while you're out there in the tailgate because you're all gonna, no matter what, when he walks out, the fans are gonna be like, "Wow, hey, I'm next to somebody important. Look at me." And he can walk up. I shouldn't even say
agreed.
That, but yeah, he can walk away and be a total asshole after that once he gets back in his office.
Agreed. And I saw the one game I went to, and he was out there. There were a couple people that I was familiar with from Twitter who were not Bruce Allen fans, but boy, were they cozying it up when we were face to face with him. And I never called people out on that because listen, I didn't.
Everybody gets starstruck.
I didn't really care because, like you said, at the end of the day, it's because you're standing next to somebody that is on a high level of the team that you support. So it is what it is. But that's what, to bring it back, I just find that interesting how people are kind of like talking about me and the whole ambassador thing and how I'm different and with it, and I'm just kind of like, shut up.
He's just ugly. Don't tell him he's different.
Just like,
All right, well, let's talk about some football. Y'all ready to talk about
All right.
some football?
Yeah.
All right. So I want to get into a kind of a hot topic on Twitter. Our buddy Mark Tyler, who has been a guest on our show, Hawks Haven. Read his stuff. He's great. He's a great guest. Kind of put out an article.
he's an antagonizer.
He is.
I'm gonna call it out.
I love it.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Some
Sometimes that's just to generate discussion.
Listen, I used to do the same thing, but clear as day see what he's doing, and it's hilarious.
But
Generates discussion.
Oh yeah,
he put out an article that says that Taylor Heinicke is a poor man's Colt McCoy. And as
I can't afford either one of them.
As you would imagine, it got some interesting takes. And people were pissed off.
He's not
calling
lying.
him a shit fan. And the thing is, it's fucking facts. I mean, it's fucking facts. Okay, listen. I don't know how many times or how many ways I could fucking say this. Okay, Ryan Fitzpatrick is our starting
Japanese
quarterback. Is that good? Can y'all fucking understand that?
I got it.
Ryan
something
Fitzpatrick
Godzilla
is our starting quarterback. I would pick Ryan Fitzpatrick to be our starting quarterback over Taylor Heinicke 10 times out of 100 times out of 100 times. Okay, listen, guys, he had a great game, but the thing about it is we fucking lost that game. Okay, we lost it. The dude has played in 3 fucking NFL games his entire fucking life. And some people fail to understand that he's 28 years old. He's been in the league a long time. And nobody else, no other coach has seen the talent that you guys seem to think that he's our franchise quarterback. Our franchise quarterback isn't on the fucking roster right now. It's not. And that's a fact. And if you can't fucking understand that, then you just need to have your fucking brain checked because it's a fucking fact. Okay. Taylor Heinicke
Midas does brain checks.
It's a great story. And that's all it was. It was a moment. That's it.
The situation reminds me of the RG3 versus Kirk Cousins.
It's crazy.
And then the Kirk Cousins versus Colt
I love
McCoy.
That. Mike Hall put out a really good tweet earlier today. I forget, you were on that thread too. He said something like, this is going to be the debate that is the RG3 / Kirk Cousins
It goes
saga
beyond
all
that.
over again.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
goes beyond that.
Well, again, it's because that's what this fan base does, and it's because we don't have, that franchise quarterback. So until we get that guy, this is the way that it's going to be every single year, no matter who's involved. It's always going to be QB1 versus QB2.
Even when we get that guy, that's what it's going to be. Even when we look, I'm telling you what, I go way back.
Maybe
Y'all
in
know
the-
who Babe? You know who Babe Laufenberg is?
No.
Okay, exactly. Babe Laufenberg was the 3rd string quarterback before you guys were fucking born. The dude would have awesome 4th quarters in the 3rd preseason game and whatnot. And he's got to start over Joe Theismann. He's got to start right now over Joe Theismann. This team, the fucking most popular guy in the whole city is the backup quarterback, period. Always,
Yeah,
always,
no, you're
always,
right about
always.
that. But look, everybody says, but look how good he played. He almost beat the Super Bowl champs. For one thing, no, he did not almost beat the Super Bowl champs.
Lost by 2 touchdowns.
Okay?
Isn't this the same situation, Jay Schroeder versus Doug Williams?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
kind
in a way.
it was a little bit different.
Both of them had a bit of a they had some established. I mean, Doug Williams was a damn good quarterback while he was in Tampa Bay, and here in DC they hated Jay Schrader. He was the fucking worst guy in the locker room. They couldn't wait to get rid of him. But I don't think it's quite the same thing. I think more or less what you see is people they latch on to things, and then they They can't let it go.
That's my whole point.
Heinicke could turn out to be Kurt Warner. That would be fucking awesome. But the odds are long against it. We don't know what we got with this guy right now. We truly don't know what we have. But what we do have, no matter what, as long as he's on this team, we're going to have people that swear up and down he could take us to the Super Bowl tomorrow, which would suck because tomorrow isn't even football season. But there's also going to be people once he's gone that are going to be like, we should have never cut Taylor Heinicke. I don't care if he's cutting meat down at the Giant. We should have never cut him.
Yeah. And the fact it's recency bias for one thing, and two, people say, well, look what he did against Tampa Bay. Look what he did in the one quarter against Carolina. Okay.
Fine.
Okay. I'm taking. People think that he played so good against them is because one, we had a quarterback with one fucking leg all year. And two, our other quarterback was worried about fucking motorboating tit-filled or zit-filled titties at a strip club after the fucking games. Of course, anybody else that you're going to put in there is going to look fucking better. Kyle Allen looked better running this offense.
You can't discredit, though, the plays that Heinicke made. He made spectacular plays.
I'm not doing that.
And I think
an exciting night.
That's what the fan base is hung on. Exactly what John just said. He gave us an exciting night, and people are comparing it to the 2012 RG3 year.
That was a whole season. We saw that whole season, and I got a whole different opinion about that.
Sure, but we did that 7-game stretch, and again, it brought excitement, right? Well, that's kind of what people are comparing it to, and so you can't help as a fan when you're 20 plus something years of losing, attaching yourself to something that was like, wow, that guy over there, he threw the fade. That guy over there just like broke tackles and dove 10 yards for a touchdown. That guy threw dimes in the end zone. Like we weren't seeing that out of Haskins. We weren't seeing that out of Alex Smith. We weren't seeing that. It was inconsistent with Kirk Cousins. You know what I mean? Kirk Cousins had some great stuff too. Don't get me wrong. Listen, I'm gonna give Kirk Cousins the credit that he's due. I don't think he was our guy. He's
not the Vikings guy either. He's just a guy getting rich. He's a decent passer.
Correct. That's it. That's all it is. And so, that's where we stand with that whole situation. And look, it's only going to get worse, fellas. Saddle up, because all it's going to take is for old Fitzy, old beard man, to have a bad game, and it's going to happen.
No, it's not.
He's going to have a bad.
Fitzpatrick is going to have a extremely long fucking leash. They're not yanking him out.
No. I never said they're going to yank
him. The only way Fitzpatrick is going to get yanked out is if he gets hurt.
I didn't say he was going to get yanked. I said that saddle up, because the issue is with the fan base, because it's going to take.
I apologize. I'm sorry.
One game from Beard Guy.
I will tell you this. All it's going to take is one bad pass. Okay. That's really the way our fan base starts. One bad pass.
But I'm telling you, if Fitzpatrick is the reason why we lost the game, they're going to be calling for his head, and Twitter is going to be a Taylor versus, Fitzpatrick debate.
It's
going to go on and on.
A lot of people kind of fail to realize it's not just his play or his lack of experience, which, he was a backup in the XFL. Okay.
You're speaking
but his
say a lot.
injury, but his injury history should say a lot too. He can't stay healthy. You can't rely on someone like that.
Stop. You're being logical, Jessy. Stop it.
I mean,
here's the thing. For me, I think fans have a right to be optimistic about his potential, but pump the brakes a little bit. He gave us a really good game. All right, against a really good team. He gave us a thrill almost down to the end, and whether anybody thinks we almost won or not, it doesn't matter. We were in that game, and that's what's important. You're right, but we were in that game. We weren't blown out. We were not shown to be like we didn't belong.
It was a respectable, decent performance.
Right. So, and then over the offseason, he does the work.
Against the team that won the Super Bowl.
Well, that does matter. But we see the off-season work. He's come in swole up. He's gotten himself all built up. He's been studying the playbook. So, Yeah, there's
And I
reason
love
for
every
people to say
second of it. I love
exactly.
that. I love
But-
it. I love it.
But people get this idea that he can win. We can win the Super Bowl with him, and they'll
I-
never come off of it.
I want him on our team, and that's not what I'm saying. I'm not trying to say that I don't want him on a team or I don't like him. I do. I like the kid, but I want him as my number 2 quarterback. I want him to be able to come in if our quarterback gets hurt or is having a bad first half to come. Quarterbacks have that. It's happened time and time again to come in and finish the job. But I don't want him trotted out there at week 1 as our starting quarterback. I'm sorry, I don't.
Taylor
Nobody does.
Heinicke. Taylor Heinicke is equivalent to some of these podcasters out there. Sometimes your shows are decent, but you're no Bleeding Burgundy podcast.
That's right. And you got a bunch of paper knees out there. You can fall over with the wind blows. Look, the thing is this. When you look at our fan base, it doesn't matter who our starting quarterback is. They want somebody else. And I mean, not just our backup. I had argument after argument with people that wanted Cam Newton. And it's like, do you pass a car that's on fire? You drive past, you ever done that? You drive down a highway and there's a car
motherfucker's about to get beat
fire.
out by Mac Jones.
Right. There's a car on fire. Did you ever stop and look at that car on fire and go, I'll give you $50,000 for it right now. I'll give you $100 million.
Shut up.
Fuck no.
I
I liked him too, but he's done. All right. The dude's physically not able to do it anymore. He had injuries that he can't overcome.
100%.
People look at last year and they say, oh, he didn't have anybody around him. And I'm like, you got 52 other people that are going, we don't have a fucking quarterback.
Yeah.
Right.
They
want that analysis.
They want him. They want they want Teddy Bridgewater. My God, people. Teddy Bridgewater signed a 3-year deal. And after 1 year, they went, you know what?
I ain't going to lie. I was kind of hoping for us to get Marcus Mariota. Don't kill me.
I'm not going to disagree with that because I did like the way he played. And I do think that there's a viable market now for second time around quarterbacks.
Yeah.
When this franchise, they get drafted so
goddamn
after
the
high.
Matthew Stafford thing and not knowing.
Right.
But when the Fitz thing came along, I had I have a follower, and he's a Detroit Lion fan, and we had talked for months and months. We started following each other. We had really good conversations. He was like really intrigued with our team and what we were doing, and he told me from the jump. Because we were talking about Matt Stafford and then how we didn't get him. He said, y'all need to go get Fitzpatrick. I was like, what? Really? And then I thought about it for a bit. And I was like, you know what? I don't see besides him or Mariota, I don't see a better option, if we're not going to draft one.
When you look at last year with Alex Smith, all right, which is captain check down, let's make sure it's safe. There's a benefit to that, but you're never going to win with that. Fitzpatrick is going to throw a few interceptions, but he's going to push that ball down the field. And that is where you start to win football games, is when you goddamn attack. You can't just sit back and say, okay, well, we're going to dink it over here and we're going to dunk it over there. And just please don't tackle us till we get to the first down, please. You got to go out there with the mindset of F this defense. We're going to hit it where it's weak and we're going to create where it's weak. We're going to make that weakness with our motion and we're going to hit it. Do it. So yeah, I'm all right with that. Push the ball down the field. When we talked about Kirk Cousins, that's the one thing I thought was his best attribute. That dude will push the ball down the field. Gus Frerotte, y'all don't remember him, right?
Yes, I remember.
Right.
Gus Frerotte.
Gus Frerotte. There's all kinds of jokes about him, but I'll tell you what. When Gus Frerotte needs 20 yards, guess what? He's throwing that ball 25.
He was
a
deep ball guy.
Not even that. He would push. I'll tell you a statistic with Gus Frerotte. Henry Ellard was with this team for 4 years. In 4 years, he had 6 catches that did not go up for a first down or a touchdown. That is unfreaking believable. But it's true. Gus would push that ball down the field, and Fitz will do the same thing. And once in a while, a safety's going to jump him. Once in a while, he's going to misread something and throw it somewhere he's not supposed to. But you know what? It's going to happen 15 yards down the field, not right at the line of scrimmage.
One of the things that is a plus for Fitzpatrick and some fans, non-Fitzpatrick fans, don't really fail to realize, they're always like, well, he's never been to the playoffs. Have you seen the teams that he's been on?
Not that I've seen.
I mean, all the teams that he's been on have been pretty much shit, except for the 1 year with the Jets. So they had a decent defense. Fitzpatrick has a really good defense. I'm not calling them elite. Okay. I'm definitely not doing that yet, but it's getting there. Now we've got him some weapons.
Right.
He's either had weapons and no defense or an okay defense and like no namers around him. We've got a decent offensive line. We got a good running back group.
Several good running backs. Yeah.
We have an up and comer tight end. Yes, he's been in the league for a while, but Logan Thomas. I mean, did anybody see that coming last year?
No one
Apparently
did.
Ron did. Ron did.
Yeah.
Fan-wise, no one did.
Then you add Terry McLaurin, which is one of the better young receivers in the league. You add a Curtis Samuel, and Adam Humphries, a Diami Brown, and you have yourself a legitimate chance to score some fucking points this year.
Yeah, we do.
I will say that this probably is one of his better offenses that he's been on.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, now that in the last several years, I mean, he's a late bloomer. That's obvious. The dude he's been around the league so long, he's seen everything, and now he's figured out how to do what he needs to be able to do.
The last 3 years have been his best.
And they've been successively better. When you see him get the chance to start, Miami doesn't have a ton of great weapons. They've got some,
Devontae Parker and
Devontae Parker, and I think the running back is pretty good.
He's not even a top 25 receiver.
Right, but they're right. He can handle it. That's what I'm saying.
Go ahead, Keith.
I think fans need to temper their expectations with Brown, though.
He's a rookie.
I mean, he's going to get his chances, not right away though. But we don't necessarily need him to do anything right away.
Right. He's a rookie, and people, they get enthralled. Oh, look, we drafted this guy, and look how good he was up against Upper Appaloosa Tech. Look right there. See him burning that guy? That guy's working for UPS now. But man, look at him burn that guy. So he's a rookie. Temper expectations. Randy Moss only happens once in a while.
All we need to be really is a top 15, top 16 offense.
27 points a game would be so sweet for this offense. So good for this team because that defense can hold it down.
A lot of people said that, all Ryan Fitzpatrick does is get benched. Well, that it's not necessarily true.
So
Ryan Fitzpatrick last year, he did get benched, but you know why he got benched? He didn't get benched for play.
So Tua could come in and
exactly.
play.
If he would have kept playing, they won 10
They'd have made the playoffs.
Yeah, they won 10 games last year. And guess who won those games? I think Tua won like 2 of them. But
dude, do you remember when we played
of them or Ryan Fitzpatrick?
2 years ago when we played them, when Jay Gruden was here, and we were 0-5 or something like that. We went down to Miami, and they had Josh Rosen, and we were smacking them around. We were winning. We were doing all right.
Fitzpatrick
Fitzpatrick made us all shit our pants. Dude, freaking turn that offense on. And that's what I mean about what I said. That dude will push the ball down the field, and he will make that defense back the hell up. Yeah. You're not going to see guys crashing the line against us this year because he'll go right over their head.
I'm taking his 14 years of experience over 3 games any day.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. Sure. That goes for practically anything except like when you're buying a prostitute.
Oh, shit.
Oh, God.
Sorry. Keith just realized that the hog farmers are going to fire him now.
Oh, I do not endorse your opinion.
No, of course not.
But anyways,
they're funny though. Your opinions are funny.
Look,
thank you.
Everybody, you can screen competition till the cows come home. It's not okay. This is Ryan Fitzpatrick's job to lose. And listen, he's not going to lose it. He's not going to lose it in training camp. Yes, Taylor Heinicke knows the offense better than he. So does Kyle Allen.
Yeah, they all do.
Have you heard Kyle Allen's name being mentioned? Kyle Allen ran the offense for the majority of the year in Carolina, but his name's not even getting mentioned.
He won 5 in a row when he came in after Newton got hurt.
His name's not
Ron
even
loves it.
Mentioned.
We'll see.
Right. See, we got a long way to go. We don't know what somebody might turn a knee in camp, something like that.
That's
know,
true. That's what I'm saying. It's only injuries is the only thing that's going to derail Ryan Fitzpatrick from starting.
when
That's
folks
it.
look at Ryan Fitzpatrick, you got to realize too, we have two quarterbacks here that are young. They could stand some mentoring. So if they sit behind Fitzpatrick for a year and watch this guy that's got 14 years of experience, how's that going to hurt?
That's true.
Football is more about it's not just about what's coming up in September. It's about what's coming up next September and next November and next year and the year after that. How do you keep building this so it cascades into win after win after win after win? There go my hands. Look at my hands.
All right, so let's move on. Our last topic of the evening. So I took to Twitter and I want to talk to about the defensive line. I asked Twitter, with Chase Young, Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, Montez Sweat, then you have Matt Ioannidis, Tim Settle. Okay. Are they the best in the league? I'll start there. John, what do you think? Are we the number one defensive line in the NFL?
I don't know. We haven't played a game yet with this group. I mean, we've seen what they can do at the end of last year, and I would say that they can definitely put their flag in the ground and make a claim to it. But anytime you got Aaron Donald out there still playing football, there's another defensive line that might be better, and because he's that effing good. So it's hard to say, are they the best? Talk to me again about this in November. Let's talk about this in Thanksgiving and ask me, are they the best? And we'll find out how they're doing against some of the better competition in the league, which they've got. We talked about this last week. Challenge is good, and they are challenged this year to be able to get up there and stand up to it. We'll see if they can.
Keith, what do you think, my man?
I don't have an answer to that. I have no idea. I'd have to actually pay attention to the other 31 teams to know exactly what they have and know their stats and really research it, to say it. I mean, it looks good on paper.
Sure.
But is it going to translate, on the field? I mean, hell, for years we've been looking good on paper, thinking that we're going to the Super Bowl every single. This is our year. This is it. We got Deion Sanders. We got
Malcolm Kelly.
Yeah, we got Bruce Smith.
Hey, you know what? I'm not going to listen to any
Thomas,
disrespect there. That pass defense was 28th in the league before they picked up Bruce Smith and Deion Sanders, and the next year they were 4th. And I would say this too. Between Champ and Deion, they gave up one touchdown to a wide receiver that year. They turned that shit around. Deion played all right here, even though he turned it into a joke by saying, I'm just here to take their money. And he got that punt bounced off his fucking face mask.
I close my eyes every time that guy. I just, whatever.
Yeah, he's a Cowboy and he's a goddamn 49er.
But we've always looked good on paper for years, with all of our free agents.
I see your pussy, Keith.
It's a cutie, isn't it?
Don't find any hog farmers.
Yeah. For those that aren't watching the YouTube, he's referring to my cat.
I think it came free with his case of Mike's Hard Lemonade. One free kitty cat with his case of Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Shut up.
Shut up.
All right. I agree with Keith in a sense, is that it looks good on paper. I mean, at times we played very well last year. At times, I'm sorry to say that we didn't.
It takes time to gel.
You're right. There's another year in the city. They were all learning a new system. And if you remember correctly, there was some D linemen that were not, taking the coaching of Sam Mills. Is it Sam Mills? It's the D-line coach. No, it's not. They were not. They were not taken well. They were the techniques that they were learning. They weren't happy with it, but they kept working at it, and they did get better later on in the year.
They bought in.
So another year in the system is only going to help. I think that they could be top 3. I'm not going to say number 1, but they have the potential to be a top 3 defensive line in the league. I honestly do believe that. Now, this is the more important question. Should we be worried about the depth behind Chase Young and Montez Sweat? And I got to tell you, we got a couple of 7th rounders that if something happens, man, it's gotta, I like Shaka Toney. Don't get me wrong. I love Shaka Toney out of Penn State. He plays very well. It was very surprising that he was still there in the 7th round. But again, he's a 7th round rookie.
Yeah. I think no matter what, for one, in any football team, when you take an injury to a starter, you take a hit. And when you take an injury to starters of the caliber of Chase Young or Montez Sweat, which, God damn it, knock wood that never fucking happens, you're going to lose a lot. You don't have that kind of talent sitting on a bench anywhere in the NFL waiting to be second. So, we have good coaching, which have to roll with whatever happens.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely concerned, but I think any fan of any NFL team should be concerned because, like you said, you don't have that talent that sits the bench. You hope that you have that talent, like Jessy mentioning, the 7th round, pick. You hope that there's that diamond in that rough that's going to pick up 75% of
the next Cam Curl.
Right.
Hey, you know what? We've had good luck in the 7th
We do.
with a lot of players. And I think that the notion that, he's a 7th round pick. Well, yeah, but you're still talking about a top player in terms of football players.
Yeah. I still think you guys need to reserve your expectations on Curl too. Curl reminds me of a Bashad Breeland, man. The guy came out of nowhere, had a few good seasons. Then he flipped the script for, 1 year, got ran out of town. Like we just, I'm not saying Curl's not going to be good by any means. I mean,
Breeland was a 2nd or 3rd round draft pick, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he was, and he got a ring. He ended up with a
That's
ring
true.
as a starter.
He played very well.
He played well for us, but with us, you got to factor in a lot of
his
different
last year
things.
though. Before he got booted, he did not play well at all.
He did.
That
But
happens.
he was also, I think, he was injured as well.
We're having defensive coordinators like Greg Minuski show up around here. I mean, we got guys that should be frying up fucking fish fillets on Saturdays rather than goddamn coaching football.
All I'm saying is one, like, we need to be careful with 1 year guys who show out.
That's true.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
we're going to the Super Bowl with Cam Curl and Taylor Heinicke, baby.
Yeah, we're jumping on that train.
I swear I hate John.
All right, I want to give some shout outs and read some of the comments that our listeners put out on Twitter. 5-year-old DC at New Era Culture. I don't know if they'll be the best, but they definitely have the potential. Robert Feister.
I like that guy, by the way. Culture.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, I do
so
too.
do I. Me
Cool
too,
guy.
me too. Good conversation with him.
Yep.
We don't have an Aaron Donald or a Bosa. So the Rams, Chargers, and 49ers are at least as good, if not better. I'd say the Rams line is definitely better, and San Fran too when fully healthy. He's got a point in there. Aaron Donald is a beast.
I think Aaron Donald is the one that I'll give him credit for there. But as far as the Bosa boys, I think our defensive ends could probably have something to say about that. I think that they're of that caliber. But yeah, when you're talking Aaron Donald, you're talking one of the greatest ever. Yeah. This dude's already got his Hall of Fame ticket punched.
I think the Bosa brothers will too. I mean,
they could, but I think Chase Young's better than both of them. And a lot of people at least has the potential to be better than both of them.
Yeah,
I think that they're not out of. I think that the Bosas and our two guys are right in the same area, whereas I think Aaron Donald is head and shoulders above everybody else.
Yeah,
and that's no disrespect to our defensive tackles.
You got to remember too, the Bosas play on different teams. We have two really good defensive ends.
Well, who's the older one? It's Joey, right?
Joey's older. He's the one that's in San Diego or LA.
San Francisco.
Wait, so who's Nick Bosa?
Nick Bosa is the one that's in
so he's the younger one.
Yeah, San Francisco. Nick's in San Francisco.
Right.
Joey's in
Joey Bosa's a boss, man. I don't know. Like
they're good.
I mean, I'd almost maybe put him up there with Aaron Donald.
I don't know about that there, but he's
Aaron
good, but he's not that good
by himself.
I mean, if I had a choice between Joey, Nick, or Chase, I'm taking Chase 10 times out of 10 times.
I haven't seen a defensive tackle like Aaron Donald since Warren Sapp. And I know a lot of people disrespect Warren Sapp, but you know what? Warren Sapp took 3 guys you had to deal with him so much that everybody else feasted. And Donald is the same way. Mm-hmm. You better put at least 2 of your best guys on him and maybe 3. So he's going to take, now all of a sudden your offense is 8 people. And he's still going to smash your quarterback. He's
Yeah,
still going to disrupt the
you
play.
got to run 2 tight end sets when you're going up against the Rams defensive line. You have to.
Yep. But if you take
Otherwise,
him
you're gonna
out,
get eaten up. Yeah.
yeah,
Do you guys
that's where
like-
everybody else feasts.
Do you guys like how I didn't know the guy's first name, but I sat here and said he's just as good as Aaron Donald?
I don't care. He's a Bosa.
It's because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. That's why.
Because you don't know shit about football.
I'm just over here just making stuff up. The guy's good. That's all I know. I don't pay attention to any of that.
No, they're great. I think they're all going to line up in the Hall of Fame one day, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I do believe that because I mean, I know I know of them. I know who they are. I've watched them play games. I've seen them have some crazy games, but
it's crazy how Ohio State just pumps out pass rushers, man.
Yeah.
They do a really good job doing that.
You know, I could see them in the same breath with Dwight Freeney, a guy of that caliber. But
Yeah.
when you're talking Aaron Donald, I'm looking at Reggie White type caliber.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
best of the best of the best of the best.
that I
you know,
could see.
Yeah. No, I'm
So, yeah,
right there
he's-
with you. I'm right there with
Yeah.
you. Our buddy Brandon Reinbold at Meest
Our buddy.
ST21 said there's a huge drop off in production and overall talent when it comes to the depth behind Chase and Sweat. The team is high on James Smith-Williams, and James Smith-Williams did play last year, and when he did get an opportunity, he did play well. I think he had 2 sacks last year in limited playing time. James Smith-Williams, it's still a little bit of an unknown with William Bradley King and Shaka Toney. So there's concerns if Chase or Sweat got injured. Yeah, man, I agree with everything that you said, Brandon. Definitely.
It's not even just injured though. It's when they need rest too.
That's true.
It's gonna happen.
You know, there's thought that also John Allen can swing out to the edge as well. I've heard that mentioned quite a few times. So, you know, our interior defensive line, I think as a whole is probably one of the best if not the best in the league, just because our 2 subs could start for any other fucking
Almost
team
anybody.
in the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tim Settle, man. Love that guy. Every time Tim Settle comes in, he fucks some shit up for that offense. He reads things so fast. The thing when you see Tim Settle is as soon as the thing happens and they do a misdirection or something like that, he is the first guy out there whose head turns in the right direction and starts moving that way.
Yeah.
He is freaking smart and he uses his strength so well. I love Tim Settle.
I'm a Virginia Tech fan, and you know, just following him through his career at Virginia Tech, I loved him, but I was a little bit worried because he used to take plays off. But I think he's in the perfect role here, where because he came in and he was a big boy. He did lose some weight when he first
he was like
got
360,
here.
right?
Yeah, he had to lose some weight, but he's quick, man. For a man that size, it's amazing how quick that dude is. Super
It'll be
quick.
interesting when him and Ioannidis are in there on the same thing, and the offense says, "Well, okay, let's try this," and they fucking wreck it.
Oh,
That's what my wife. That's what my wife says to me.
Tell your wife Jalen Hurts better make sure his insurance policy is paid up.
She doesn't even know who that is.
God, some fucking fan. Anson Morgan says a better offense will help the defense be even better. Yeah.
Yeah,
He
keep him off the
said,
field a little bit, let him rest.
Our buddy Scott G from across the pond says it's July 6th. We haven't even seen the new guys playing preseason. Go out and enjoy the summer. Okay.
Cheerio.
All right, cheerio.
Oh, look, I've got a new
Yeah.
calendar. Look, I can read my new calendar. It's July the 6th.
Vito
Let's go outside.
at Vent Vision says definitely have potential to be and should be. Injuries, death are always something to worry about, especially when it comes to good disrupting pass rusher. Entire defense is better when they get pressure. Yeah, well,
That's because Vito knows. Vito knows.
Depth is a hard thing throughout the league. Folks got to realize there's a salary cap, and it just went down for the first time ever. You can't.
Yeah.
There isn't any all pros sitting behind somebody else waiting for a chance. I mean, if there is, it's because nobody noticed it. It's an accident.
Shaka Tony, or no, I'm sorry. Dignitary of the Den. He is a Red Wolf fan. With his
Good for him.
At Inner Sanity 11 says Shaka Toney will be the newest late round diamond. His motor is incredible, will provide impact as a pass rusher right out of the gate. I hope so.
As a Penn State fan, I agree with him. This dude he's a badass.
Yeah.
And like you said about Settle, he might be in the right position where he doesn't have to start. He can come in fresh with an assignment and go wreck some shit.
Yeah, I sure hope so.
I stopped listening after you said Red Wolves fan.
Dick. Our buddy Kyle at the Burgundy Zone says easily the best in the NFL, the best pass rusher of the interior is even returning this season. Aaron Donald is a man child, but the rest of that line doesn't elevate the line to number one. He could have a point, but the fact that point. Aaron Donald, he's like three players in one, so he makes up for the rest of that line because he's that good.
Right. When you're talking about, without Aaron Donald, they wouldn't even be in the mention. The fact that they are because of him says a hell of a lot about him.
That's what I'm saying. And Kyle definitely has a point. He definitely does. Their other lineman doesn't stack up to ours. It's just, he's so fucking, Donald's just so fucking good.
He's dominant.
We don't have anybody like that. I'm hoping Chase Young will be like that one day.
They're a different position.
Kyle also drinks Kool-Aid and it gives him superpowers. And the superpowers is like it, all else is, awesome with the Washington football team. So
I'll tell you what, all four of those guys are first round picks, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Boom, 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 boom. They spent for it to build for it to be able to do what we're hoping that they're able to do. And I think what we have on our line is not one superstar that elevates everybody else like you see with the Rams. I think this defensive line can attack you from practically anywhere.
Yeah.
You think your quarterback is going to step up? You think you're going to let our defensive ends run around the outside? You're going to okey doke them around to the outsides? Go ahead, step up. Watch Daron Payne just break your quarterback's face in half.
Look,
that's where it comes from.
Matt Ioannidis is possibly one of the strongest interior linemen in the whole entire league.
He's a brute.
He's a
beast.
He's a brute.
Just kidding, Kyle.
And he is. It sucked when he went down last year. I was expecting him to have a really good year, but I expect it this year. I think this defensive line is going to this decent defensive front. Besides John Bostic, is going to have a good season.
It's the identity of this team.
Yeah, you're right.
It really is.
100%.
And it was built to be the identity of this team, and it's stepped into the role.
Our buddy offseason champions, the HTT at HTTR champs, says overall this line has I can't fucking talk. The potential to be the best in the league. The interior has incredible starters and great depth. The depth of the ends is a bit concerning, but overall, I am confident with the players that are in place. If Rivera and Del Rio are comfortable, then I'm comfortable.
We have reason for optimism that's not a bunch of bullshit like we've had in the past.
I do. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Our buddy Disco, and I want to get Disco on
I like Disco.
the podcast.
Cool guy,
sometime
for
soon.
sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to get him on, and I'm going to reach out to him this week.
Him and I used to battle about Kirk Cousins.
Yeah,
I would insist
if
he comes on the show, I want him to wear a disco shirt with a medallion in the front, like maybe a zodiac sign or something like that, or a Coke spoon hanging down.
I will reach out to him this week, see if we can set up a time for him to come on. I always hear him call into the radio shows, and he's a smart guy, very smart guy. He says they gave up 500 yards of offense against the Buccaneers. They can't be crowned the best yet. Fucking right there with you, dude. Right there.
That's a point. The Bucs, on the other hand, I mean, I'm not going to say, they won the Super Bowl. They have had a great offense for a while now. They just didn't have a quarterback that could run it. I mean, you're talking some of the probably the best wide receiver rotation in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit, Mike Evans should be on the All-Pro team practically
with Antonio
every year.
Brown now. Shit.
And Godwin, did they re-sign Antonio Brown?
They re-signed everybody. Everybody.
Chris Godwin is a monster. That dude is so fast, and they really are a damn good offense. So I'm not it's yeah, you don't ever want to give up 500 yards to anybody, but I'm not going to kick him in the ass for that.
Yeah. Last one, Wiskins says best in the NFL. Absolutely has a chance for that. Depth behind the ends is concerning, but I also don't know what the coaches know. For all we know, the guys behind them are more ready to go than we know.
That's a logical tweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, he always has one. I like
yeah.
Wiskins. He's good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good guy.
good person.
I'm a fan of Tony, so I have faith in his development. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, you know.
But we have good
We
coaches.
got rid of Kerrigan, and you got to think that Del Rio and Rivera have a plan.
We assigned Kerrigan to purgatory. We sent
That's
that dude
true.
to Philly. Yee.
And Danny Rulio was so messed up. I'm so pissed off. I just don't know why they did that. Are they stupid? They need to hire me.
It's
I'm
just
smarter
business.
than Ron Rivera.
That guy's
Folks
still
don't realize.
riding the Charles Barkley train too with that impression.
I mean,
Hey, you might as well. You got it going on. You
yeah,
might
I
as
mean,
well.
I can't hate him for it.
Hey, why not? I always say this. People don't realize that the way that you build a roster nowadays and the way that you manage your salary cap is through the draft. You got that slotted contract system now. You can predict what you're going to have to pay. You're not going to have one player come out of the draft and say, I'm not going to sign unless you give me every single penny that there is.
it's tough titty.
Right. It doesn't work that way anymore.
It doesn't work that way anymore. And that's good. I'm glad. I like it. You know, the salary cap is going up. There is concern that we're not going to be able to keep all these defensive linemen. And there's a chance that we might have to let one go.
But that will happen.
You know, it's we're not going to have to, if we can just keep drafting well, like we've had the past couple of years, I think we're going to be okay.
I think a primary example of what I mean by this is Preston Smith, right? He was coming on. He got to the point where it was time for contract. The way the NFL is now, you look at the potential that he's going to bring and the money that that's going to cost, or you look at what you could potentially get in the draft. And so they let him walk. Okay. And everybody went ballistic about that. And when he drafted Montez Sweat, okay, we drafted Montez Sweat that very same offseason. The next season, Smith had a good year for Green Bay, and everybody went, oh. Well, where is Smith now? Is he a free agent still? Did he pick up someplace else? Because that's what happens to players like this. Nowadays, it is you've got 5 or 6 guys that make up your core, and they're going to take the lion's share of your salary cap, and then the rest of it is a revolving door on the draft because you can't afford to keep paying guys the mid-level money. Guys like him, guys like Jamison Crowder, they're going to be eternal free agents. Every 2 years, they're going to be looking for a job. They're good players, but that's not who you build your team with.
Yeah. And
we got Montez Sweat. Anybody complaining now?
No.
We got him a lot less, costing us a lot less than what Smith would be costing us today.
That's absolutely true. And I think Montez Sweat has a much higher ceiling than Smith does too.
Right.
So
that's how you build your team nowadays.
We draft right, and we're going to be just fine. You know.
Yep. Manages your cap.
You know, everybody wants us to go out and get an Aaron Rodgers or Deshaun Watson. That's going to kill your cap right there.
Yes, it will.
You know, yes, we'll have good quarterback play for a couple of years. Aaron Rodgers less time than Deshaun Watson, but still, you're not going to have money to pay the other guys that you need to pay, your core guys. You know, and we have a bigger group of core guys here because they're so young. You have your Terry McLaurin, you have a John Allen, a Daron Payne, a Montez Sweat, a fucking Chase Young. Those are your core guys right there.
Right.
You know, a Jamin Davis. So we're still going to have to rebuild this offensive line sooner rather than later. This is a patch, even though it's patchwork right now. We still have to continue.
It's a continual process.
Yeah.
Because of the way that the draft works and because of the way the salary cap works, the way that you do your turnover. And I will bring this full circle and say, this is why we hate Dan Snyder, because he trained a goddamn generation of fans to think all you got to do is go out and buy the shiny new fucking toy and everything will be fixed.
God, I couldn't have said it better myself.
There you go.
I mean, that's a crucial point right there. Right there. Keith, do you have a Keith's Corner?
Yeah, I'll take the time with the Keith's Corner and promote what the hog farmers have going on instead of screaming and yelling about stuff that no one cares about.
Farmerscharity.org
about everything.
So listen, I encourage anyone who listens to the show to travel on over to the Hog Farmers Twitter page. You can also find them on Facebook too. But the Hog Farmers really worked hard. I wasn't a part of joining in on this, so I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, me, I'm a hog farmer. These guys worked really hard to partner with a company called Caring Band. And what it is kind of a watch band where once these watches get donated to the warriors, the children that we're all supporting, you can download the app on your phone, and there is messages there where you can send quick little messages to the kids. That way, I believe. John, do you know the price on them? By any chance?
I don't know the
They're
price
30
on them, but I think
$30 or $40.
I think it's 30. Yeah, between 30 and
it's
40.
money well spent.
Yeah.
Those kids, they're going through a lot. To hear some encouraging words is good. Hogfarmerscharity.org.
Okay, it's
you can
39.
always find out the price. There you go.
Yeah,
Go get one.
It's 39 now. This is definitely in honor of a sadly a fallen warrior. The young man's name was Ethan's Ohana. So again, any $39 donation that comes from the fan base, these watches are going to go out to the families that we're supporting. So again, just travel over to their page. Look at their pen profile, and you will see the link there, and the link will take you to it. It'll also explain a lot more about downloading the app and so on and so on. So it's a really good thing. Hog Farmer Chris's daughter tested it, and we all played around with it. And the funny thing was she was loving every message that she was getting. She didn't necessarily know that this was like a test, so he was just watching the reaction and of his daughter. So it's just a really cool thing. And honestly, $39 is nothing.
That's true.
People are ready to spend more than that on a ticket, right?
Got that.
Sure.
My couch cushions.
Sure.
Look,
also just want to, John, I know you're about to say something, but also want to mention too, because they're not having that charity breakfast, and
that's a shame.
Yeah, unfortunately, you couldn't have it because camp starts at 7:30 in the morning, and it just turned out to not be such a good idea within that moment. However, they will be doing a raffle, and I know as of right now, their prized possession is a Chase Young autographed helmet. Ooh. So it's the same raffles that they've been running. Where $1 per entry, you can have as many entries as you want. So again, just go to their Twitter to find out more of the details. I just wanted to plug it because I think these two are very important, especially the Karen Band.
What is that Twitter? Is it at the Hog Farmers?
Yep, at the Hog Farmers.
Okay, and their website is hogfarmerscharity.org. And I'm going to say this because you never know. We might pick up a new listener. I think, hey, Jimmy, how you doing? These guys support families who have a child going through cancer. Yeah. And they do things for these families that is more than just trying to help them with some medical bills here and there. Just the everyday things of life that get so difficult to handle. The Hog Farmers are right there to help out with that sort of thing. So if you do take our advice and you go to hogfarmerscharity.org or you check them out on Twitter at the Hog Farmers, it is a great cause. It is a great cause. And even if you don't like Keith, look, it's about the kids. It's about the kids, right? And even though Keith drinks things that probably wouldn't hurt kids, that's no, I'm just teasing you. Seriously, it's about the kids. So go check them out.
And for those that watch the YouTube video, I know the names aren't clear, right? But those blue dots, right, indicates
they're new.
All the families that we are currently talking to. And right now it's my job to actually set these families up on Facebook Messenger so we can all chat with the families and kind of see what they need. But I mean, it just doesn't end. We're constantly talking to these people every day. And, the parents are just so thankful when those care packages get sent,
Sure.
And that's really what it's all about.
That is what it's all about.
And this is going to go back to leading to change, man. Yeah, man. When I read what these families are saying and the smiles and, and sometimes it's not always good news. They check in with us and they let us know, how their warrior's doing. And sometimes it's not so good, man. And it's sad, but you know what, to be able to be there and to support these families is to try, to bring some smiles. We know we're not changing the world, right? But
changing it for those families.
We're just trying to bring a smile. That's the whole point.
Right.
And let me tell you, Jeff, Joe, Chris, and behind the scenes guy Corey, right, who takes care of a lot. Those guys work super hard, man. Super hard. Way harder than I could ever imagine. So, and
they only do it out of the goodness of their heart. Simple as that. So for all of you clowns out there that like to have your Twitter beefs and all this kind of shit, look, whatever. If you think Chris is this or you think that Joe is that, fuck it. You got to deal with the families. That's what you're talking about.
And the best part is they don't care because they're not taking their eye off the prize.
Yeah,
that's right.
The prize is just to bring a smile to the families and their kids.
I don't know how you don't like Chris anyway. I swear to God, the dude is nothing but freaking joy.
He really is. I can't.
Well, now hold on though. Let me tell you though. Okay. And I know Chris is going to be listening, so I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I'm gonna keep it real and honest. Chris he be working everybody hard. Like Chris,
that's different. He's a good boss.
Chris is a boss man. Chris put me to work at 7:30 this morning. I'm like, dang, Chris, let me get coffee first. Let me, let me wipe the as my mom used to call them, the sleepies, the tigers from my eyes before you start, putting me to work. But hey, this guy knows what's going on in his brand. And he's making sure that, he's leading it, and he's making sure that things are getting done, and again, Jeff, Joe, those guys are working extra hard too. So
absolutely.
One day I hope to be at their level.
Yeah. I can't wait support them.
I can't wait to see you with the big old pig ears come at football games.
So I'm not doing the pig ears.
What?
Oh, what?
Come on.
What about, you know what? If you wear them at the football game, I guarantee you your wife will let you wear them on Saturday night.
That's a no-go, sir. That's a no-go, sir. I'm married. That never happens.
Are you going to do the overalls? No overalls?
So of course, yeah. I mean, I have to do they call them the bibs. I have to do the bibs. I've already ordered a ton of patches. I ordered from their store also, on their website. They actually have a store now, so you can buy t-shirts, hats, so on. I bought
You'll have all kinds of flair.
Yes, flair. I've got buttons. And I got some cool stuff. And listen, y'all make fun all you want.
No, I
love it.
I know you're making fun. I know you're making fun in a good way. And people have said, I can't wait to see you in this. But if they didn't see the way I looked in the draft, do they think I'm going to care what I look like during game day? I don't.
No, it's awesome.
I saw what you look like in the draft. And honestly, you could shave your legs. It couldn't hurt you.
Well, listen, I'm getting so old that the hair on my thighs have just fell off at this point. So
because they're rubbing together.
Yeah. But no, I'm doing the Hog Farmer hat. I'm going to keep it, low key. And then, as we go, they did say though, and I'm surprised because they do kind of have a little policy of, what you can and can't or shouldn't wear type. Well, let me take that back. They don't, but they're cool with me wearing the boa. And I don't know, like the boa has kind of become my little, my staple.
That's you.
But it doesn't fit with the Hog Farmer theme. So I don't know. I might have to find something new. But
I kind of like it.
But I did think that was really cool that they were like, they're a little strict on some of the stuff, but because I have to get them tailored, to the
it's a uniform.
Right. Yeah, I have to look like them. Right?
It's a uniform.
Right. But they were like, hey, we have no problem if you wear the boa. And I'm like, all right, well, they're letting me be me, but I'm kind of looking at it like, I don't know if a Ric Flair or Hulk Hogan boa matches with Hog Farmers, but we're gonna figure something out.
Deep down, Keith is a pole dancer. That's what I'm hearing here. Deep down, Keith likes to wear the boa. He wants to be on RuPaul's new TV show, right? That's what I'm hearing.
I mean, no lies told.
Awesome. Well, it's
seriously,
awesome
y'all.
man.
Thehogfarmers.org.
Yeah.
Support these guys, man.
Definitely.
Hogfarmers.org. They do a good job.
Got to. Yeah, I guess that's going to wrap it up. John, you got anything else?
No, I think I'm spent. I'm spent.
I'm spent too. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of the Bleeding and Burgundy podcast. You can check us out on YouTube, Google, Apple, and every other platform out there. You can catch John at Bang Radio Hour, Keith at KG Skins 26, and you can hit me up at Jesse's 24. Until next time, hail to the team.
Hail.
Toodaloo.
Now you're going to get fired from the Hog Farmers.